Hey there, welcome to this OttoGrid tutorial. In this video, we'll be focused on the column configuration process. This is where we'll be diving into AI versus non-AI columns, types, tools, inputs, and prompts. So let's dive into this table that I've created here. This is where you will be able to decide if a column is an AI or non-AI column. This is where you dictate the type of the column, the tool that this column is going to use, the inputs that this column has, and the prompt of this column. Let's start with the AI toggle. If a column is non-AI, that means it's a manual column, and this is where you get to have control over the input of the column, and this could be, for manually inputted data. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this table that I've created, where I'm using it as CRM essentially, where I'm tracking if I've contacted the person or if I have not, for negotiating, it's closed, won, etc. And this is a non-AI column, and that's when I would use it, when I want to have control over what goes into that. But now, for most of your cases, when you're trying to do enrichment or extraction and you want AI's help, this toggle, you want it to be on. Next, let's dive into types. And this is what dictates the type of the output that is going to come out into this column. In this case, I'm looking for a website, and therefore I am looking for a URL type. Long text is useful for paragraphs and long answers. Single line text is very useful for names, such as CEO column, where I want the CEO name. We have file columns, where you will be able to upload files into this column for other columns to use as context. A single select, where the agent is required to pick a single label out of the available options. Multi-select, the agent can pick multiple labels into this column for you. A number column, where your answer will be in the format of a number, or date. Next, let's look at what inputs are. You will see that this column is highlighted, and that's an input to my column. And what that means is it is the information available in this cell is going to be provided as context and information into this. So because I am looking for a company's website, I need to tell it what the company is. Therefore, I can control all of the inputs that come into this. So for example, I want an overview. Therefore, I'm going to pass in all the information that I want it to have as context for its overview. Therefore, I want it to know about the company. I want it to know the company features, the CEO, the estimated ARR, in order to be able to generate my overview. Now that we know what inputs are, let's take a look at our tools. Let's start with web search. Web search is the ideal tool to use if you're looking to browse the web for information. So in this case, I want to find the official website URL of a given company. Therefore, I'm going to browse the web in order to obtain this. Next, let's take a look at scrape URL. A scrape URL is going to take an input, and the input that I'm going to provide it has to be a column link. So our website is a URL type. Our website column is a URL type. Therefore, I'm inputting it. And now what it knows to do is to go to that URL that I'm inputting and scrape it. And that's what the scrape URL tool is. It's optimal to use when you want to extract information directly out of a URL. And in this case, I'm asking, find and extract a list of the company's main features and products. Let's take a look at our file analysis tool. And this file analysis tool is essentially for extracting information out of a file. In this case, I have a column that is of type file, and in here is where I'm going to upload my 10K filings, for example, for these companies. And what I'm saying is I'm providing that as an input into this column, saying, hey, you have this file, go into here and use the file analysis tool to do the following. Analyze the 10K filings and extract key findings, focus on important financial metrics, etc. Let's take a look at instructions only tool. And this tool is really useful when you want to limit the column to existing content and you don't want it to do anything outside of what you already have. So this is really useful when you're trying to summarize, write something, generate content, etc. So in this case, I'm creating this column that's going to give me an overview of a bunch of information that I've already extracted and enriched, and I'm using this to create a concise overview. And that's where this tool is very useful. It's important to note that this tool cannot search the web. So you only want to use this when you're providing it enough information. Finally, these two tools, enrich company and enrich person, are a little bit higher in cost in credit consumption. But the reason for that is they use actual external APIs such as Apollo to get you this information. So if your main entity, the thing that you're looking at is a company, and you want to get some information such as contact information of a salesperson or the number of employees, these tools are very useful for that. This is useful when your main column is specifically a person, or at least you're inputting a person's, for example, LinkedIn profile into this, and you want to get some information on this individual. Finally, the prompt of a column. So this is where the instructions of the column is, and you can be as precise and as detailed as you'd like here. We've left this, we've made columns to be quite language sensitive. And the reason for that is to allow you to mold these columns to the exact output that you'd like. So if you want to view your outputs in a bullet point list, you can just say, give me the output in a bullet point list. If you'd like it to be a numbered list, say a numbered list. Or you don't even want it to be a list, you want it to be a paragraph, for example. That's where you can say that. And this is where you can actually tell it what it can do and what it cannot do. So for example here, I'm asking for Reddit reviews, and I'm saying you can only go to Reddit, search and summarize recent Reddit reviews or discussions of this company. And I'm telling it exactly how I want the output to look like. Only use information from Reddit posts and comments. So you can build these columns in whichever ways work best for you. And now, once you've gone ahead and built out your table to be exactly how you'd like it to be, you're ready to go to the next step and start adding data into your table. And that's everything for column configuration. We'll leave you with that, and happy building.